What happens when 10 million barrels of Saudi oil have no buyers left? I got handed the keys to Saudi oil for 24 hours. 10 million barrels, ready to go. I thought this was my moment. Then I started calling buyers, and no one picked up. China sent me to voicemail. India did the same. Europe didn't even bother ringing. I turned on the news and found out why. The Strait of Hormuz had been blocked for a month. China cut our imports by 60%. Europe said they didn't need Saudi oil anymore. I called our own refinery hoping for good news. They told me storage was full, tankers were waiting, but no one was taking anything. So, I made my first decision. I cut production by 20%. I thought I was being smart. I wasn't. Soon after, I sat through the worst budget meeting of my life. The deficit had doubled in 6 months. Oil revenue was down 40%. I had to cut spending, but every choice was bad. Schools, hospitals, the military. Every choice hurt someone. I went to see the damage with my own eyes. A construction site frozen in time. Thousands of workers standing around doing nothing. Billions of dollars wasted. Then I visited a hospital, overflowing with patients, but running out of supplies. I saw a child waiting for a surgery that might never happen because of the cuts I made. At the port, 20 massive oil tankers sat still in the water, full of oil, going absolutely nowhere. The captains were waiting for orders that never came. By midnight, my 24 hours were up. 0 barrels sold, 0 revenue. The oil system that built this country was broke. Not because of a war or a market crash, because quietly, slowly, the world stopped wanting what we were selling. I folded the report, put it in my pocket, and walked out. But here's what I learned. The oil system broke, but the people didn't. We started building something new. Not oil, not money, just each other. We're growing our own food now, and collecting our own water. I don't know if this new life will last, but for now, it's enough. We're building our own future, one day at a time.